As I walked from my office to where I'm now sitting, I passed the auditorium and the doors were open, and in there several students were putting final touches on a spectacular set in anticipation of the big performance. I also passed a classroom where several students were engaged in an animated discussion. And finally, as I was about to enter this room, I heard down the hall giggling or laughter, and it just made me smile. Great things are happening here at CA. And I think that's important for us to remember. We all know that the cases of coronavirus are on the increase. And for some of us, as those numbers increase, so too do our levels of stress and anxiety increase and increase and increase more. And we know that our Savior Jesus has given to us His peace. That doesn't mean we're not smart about how we act. That doesn't mean we're not cautious in moving forward, but it means that we can move forward in His peace and His joy and His strength and with His courage. And those gifts have served us well here at Concordia Academy. We have just completed over 3 months of on-campus, in-person learning, and it is working. We went 10 weeks without a single case of coronavirus. And it is true that we have recently had some cases, but the majority of those students who have contracted it had mild to almost no symptoms, and all have recovered or on the verge of a quick and full recovery. In fact, what's most interesting about these cases is that in almost all situations, students contracted coronavirus outside of CA, outside of our school building and our school programs. In fact, the data shows that there is zero evidence of any transmission happening within our classrooms or our hallways. Zero evidence of any transmission. I think that's significant. In fact, the numbers perhaps argue that it is safer for students to be here inside of school than it is for them to be outside anywhere else. Well, we will continue to monitor those numbers and listen to the experts as we at CA look to move forward. And in fact, all the data is leading us to believe that we will continue for the rest of this school year with on-campus and in-person learning. We may make some adjustments along the way as we continue to monitor the situation. In fact, we recently made a change in our quarantine policy, which we've recently shared with all of our parents. And again, we will continue to monitor this as we move forward. But for right now, what I'd like to conclude is simply saying thank you. First of all, thank you to our students. You have done a fantastic job of navigating all the policies and changes that we've thrown at you. It's clear that you want to be here on campus, and you are doing everything to ensure that that does indeed continue to happen. In the same way, I also want to thank you, parents. You have done an awesome job of monitoring your students and keeping them home when they show basically any sign of illness, any symptoms. We ask you to continue to do that. Your efforts, it is working. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge and thank our staff and especially our teachers. Our teachers are doing a Herculean effort of reaching out to try and meet and manage the needs of all of our students in all their various circumstances, in situations that are constantly changing. We are truly blessed to have the staff, faculty, and teachers that we have here at CA. Thank you. And I'd like to end with just a final word of encouragement. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Great things are happening and will continue to happen here in our school. Great things will happen in our community and in our world at large. How can they not with our students, our parents, our faculty, and with our God?